I'm sitting here by the fire, a very large black cat with unnervingly green eyes. And I need to tell you something about your dreams. You see them every night, these strange little films your brain projects onto the back of your sleeping eyelids, and most mornings you forget them before your feet hit the floor. But what if I told you they're not random? What if they're letters from a part of you that doesn't speak English, or any language really, but desperately wants your attention? Let me start with the basics. A dream is an experiential narrative, a story you live through while your body lies paralyzed, and your brain does something that looks on an EEG suspiciously like waking thought. You're the protagonist, the audience, and often the scriptwriter, though you rarely remember writing the script. Dreams happen mostly during REM sleep, that phase where your eyes dart around beneath closed lids as if you're watching a tennis match in your skull. They can last seconds or stretch subjectively for hours, and they range from banal, buying groceries in a slightly wrong supermarket, to surreal, flying through a library made of cheese while your dead grandmother hands you a stopwatch. Now, you might be thinking, Professor Whiskers, why does my brain bother? Good question. For most of human history, we didn't know. We thought dreams were messages from gods, glimpses of the future, or indigestion. It wasn't until the 20th century that we started to get systematic about it, and even now, we're still arguing. There are several theories. One camp says dreams are your brain's janitorial shift, flushing out metabolic waste, consolidating memories, deciding what to keep and what to toss into the mental recycling bin. Another group argues dreams are emotional regulation. You're processing fear, grief, joy, sorting your feelings so you don't wake up as a jittery mess. Then there's the threat rehearsal hypothesis, which suggests dreams are your Paleolithic brain's way of running disaster drills, being chased by predators, falling off cliffs, showing up naked to the tribal council meeting. All of these have evidence. All of them are probably partially true. But none of them explain why your dreams feel meaningful, why that image of a red door or a stranger's face lingers for days, why you wake up with a sense that you've been told something important. That's where Carl Jung comes in, and that's where things get interesting. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist who broke with Freud over, among other things, what dreams mean. Freud thought dreams were wish fulfillment, repressed desires sneaking past your internal censor in disguise. Jung thought that was too narrow. He proposed that dreams are messages from the unconscious, not the Freudian unconscious, which is mostly a closet full of shameful urges, but a deeper, wider unconscious that contains everything you are but haven't yet realized. Jung called the process of realizing it individuation, which is a fancy way of saying becoming yourself. According to Jung, your psyche is trying to balance itself. If you're too rigid in waking life, your dreams will be chaotic. If you're ignoring your anger, your dreams will be violent. If you're neglecting your creativity, your dreams will hand you strange art projects. Dreams compensate, they guide. They don't tell you what you want, they tell you what you need to know. Jung identified recurring characters in dreams, archetypes he called them, universal patterns that show up across cultures. The shadow is everything you've disowned. Your anger, your pettiness, your secret ambition. In dreams, the shadow often appears as a threatening figure of your same gender, someone you dislike or fear. The anima in men, or animus in women, represents the contrasexual qualities you've suppressed: sensitivity, assertiveness, mystery. They show up as seductive strangers, guides, or sometimes as nagging critics. Then there's the wise old man or woman, the inner teacher, the part of you that already knows the answer and is waiting for you to ask the question. I'm a cat, so I'm probably someone's animus. Mysterious, aloof, possibly magical, definitely smug. But the point is, these figures aren't random. They're you, talking to you, in costume. And once you recognize them, you can start a conversation. Dreams speak in symbols, not signs. A sign has one meaning. A stop sign means stop. A symbol has many meanings, and the right one depends on you. A snake might mean danger, transformation, healing, or your mother-in-law. Context and emotion are everything. This is why dream dictionaries are mostly useless. They'll tell you water equals emotions, but they won't tell you whether your dream ocean is calm, stormy, or full of jellyfish, and that changes everything. So how do you learn your own dream language? You start a journal. Tonight, before you sleep, put a notebook by your bed. When you wake, before you move, before you check your phone, write down whatever you remember. Feelings first, then images, then actions, colours, verbs. Don't edit, don't interpret, just record. Do this for a week, and patterns will emerge. Do it for a month, and you'll start to see your unconscious has a sense of humour. Let's take 3 common dreams. First, teeth falling out. You're talking or eating or just standing there, and suddenly your teeth crumble or fall out in a handful. Freud said it's about sexual anxiety. Jung might say it's about losing your power to speak, to bite, to defend yourself, or anxiety about appearance and aging. But the real answer is in your waking life. Are you afraid of saying the wrong thing? Losing your attractiveness? Losing control? The dream doesn't diagnose, it asks a question. Second, being chased. You're running, heart pounding, and something is behind you. A person, an animal, a shadow. You never turn around. Jung would say this is shadow material. The part of you you're fleeing from is the part you need to face. The cure. In waking life, turn around. Ask the chaser in your imagination, what do you want? Often it wants to be acknowledged, integrated, forgiven. Third, flying and falling. Flying is autonomy, freedom, ambition, until you remember you can't actually fly, and then you fall. Falling is the fear that you've overreached, that there's no safety net. The question is, what are you risking in waking life, and do you trust yourself to land? Recurring dreams are your unconscious tapping you on the shoulder, then shaking you, then eventually yelling. If you dream the same thing over and over, missing a train, losing your keys, being back in school unprepared, it means there's a theme in your waking life you're not addressing. Track the dream in your journal. Note what happened the day before each occurrence. Look for emotional triggers. Then run a small experiment. If you keep losing your keys in the dream, ask yourself, what am I afraid of being locked out of? And take one tiny action toward that fear. Nightmares are the same, but louder. They're tough love. Your body's stress response kicks in, cortisol, adrenaline, so you wake up sweating. Jung would say nightmares are the psyche's emergency broadcast. Pay attention now. Write them down. Ground yourself with slow breathing. And here's a technique. Re-script the nightmare while awake. Imagine it again, but this time you turn on the light. You speak to the monster. You change the ending. Do this a few times, and the nightmare often loses its power. Jung developed a method called active imagination. You take a dream image, a symbol, a character, a place, and you dialogue with it while awake. Sit quietly, close your eyes, Invite the image to appear and ask it a question. Then listen. Don't force an answer. Let it emerge. It feels strange at first, like talking to yourself because you are. But you're talking to a part of yourself that doesn't usually get a microphone. Set a timer for 10 minutes so you don't spiral. Keep a pen nearby to jot down what comes up. This isn't mysticism, it's structured introspection, and it works. Once you have an insight, say your dream of a locked door means you're avoiding a difficult conversation, translate it into a micro-habit. 2 minutes a day. If the door is about communication, spend 2 minutes drafting the opening line of that conversation. If it's about a creative project, spend 2 minutes sketching or writing. Track it for a week. The unconscious respects action. It will send you new dreams, new guidance, once it sees you're listening. Let's talk about what this gets you. First, creativity. Mendeleev dreamed the periodic table. Paul McCartney dreamed Yesterday. Mary Shelley dreamed Frankenstein. Your unconscious is a relentless brainstorming partner. Give it problems before bed, and it will hand you solutions in the morning. Second, emotional fitness. Dreams metabolize grief, stress, longing. They let you feel what you've been avoiding in a safe container. Name the emotion, normalize it, negotiate with it. Third, pattern mapping. Review your dream journal weekly. Look for motifs, water, crowds, specific colors, recurring settings. Cross-reference them with your calendar. You'll start to see that your unconscious tracks your life more carefully than you do. Fourth, better relationships. When you dream about someone, you're often dreaming about a part of yourself that person represents. Share your dreams gently. I had this strange dream about you, but own your projections. Invite dialogue, not diagnosis. Finally, success and happiness, the Jungian way. Align your goals with your unconscious values. If you're chasing a promotion but dreaming of being trapped in a glass box, your psyche is telling you that success will feel like a cage. Listen, adjust. The result is less friction, more flow, and a life that feels like yours. So there you have it. Dreams as messages, archetypes as guides, symbols as your personal language, and a few practical ways to turn nighttime theatre into waking wisdom. I'll be here by the fire, among the books and candles, waiting for you to come back. There's more to explore, more philosophers, more techniques, more strange ideas that turn out to be useful. Come back, learn more, have more fun. Until then, sleep well, dream deep, and when you wake, write it down. You never know what you might be telling yourself.